What's up, Cowboys Nation? Before we jump into one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing rumors of this NFL offseason, let me just say this. The Dallas Cowboys are laser-focused on improving in every area right now. Whether it's the draft board, trade scenarios, or internal development, this team is committed to getting better. Because let's be honest, we're not here to just make the playoffs anymore. We're here to win championships. That's the bar, that's the expectation, and it starts with bold, smart moves in the offseason. If you're excited to see how the Cowboys are gearing up for the 2025 season, hit that like button right now. It helps the channel grow and keeps you plugged into everything going down in Dallas. All right, let's talk about what's got the NFL world buzzing. Could the Dallas Cowboys trade for George Pickens before or during the NFL draft? Yes, that's the rumor, and it's not just clickbait, it's got real legs. Let me walk you through everything we're hearing and what this could mean for the future of our wide receiver room. So let's start with where this all began. During a recent media session, Jerry Jones, our fearless owner and general manager, dropped a serious bombshell. He said the Cowboys could be looking to pull off two pretty substantive trades around the NFL draft. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't Jerry throwing out vague ideas. When he says substantive, he means impactful. Possibly blockbuster-level moves. Now the question is, who are the targets? Who could Jerry be eyeing to bring in and instantly boost this roster? Well, a new name has surfaced, and it's a big one. George Pickens, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's dig into this. According to Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports, who spoke on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, there's some real buzz that the Steelers are open to listening to offers for George Pickens. Robinson said, "A lot of people have assessed that Steelers GM Omar Khan will take calls on George Pickens. The Cowboys are hunting wide receivers. They want an elite-level number 2 to play alongside CeeDee Lamb. And that right there is the key phrase, elite level. Number 2, let's be real, Cowboys Nation. We all love what CeeDee Lamb brings to the table. He's a true WR1, top 5 in the league in my book. But outside of him, things get a little thin. Brandon Cooks is solid, sure, but he's not the future. George Pickens, on the other hand, is only 24 years old, coming off a season where he posted 900 receiving yards and 103 targets. That's WR1 production in a system that struggled with quarterback consistency. The guy can ball. Now, this wouldn't be a Jerry Jones-type move without a few complications. First, let's talk about Pickens' personality. There's been some buzz, some noise, that he's had a few clashes with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers' coaching staff. Nothing career-threatening, but definitely some growing pains. Is that a red flag? Maybe. But don't forget, Micah Parsons was called a character risk coming out of Penn State, and now he's the face of our defense. Sometimes you just need the right locker room and the right leadership to bring out a player's best. Second, Pickens is heading into the final year of his rookie deal. That means if we trade for him, we'd have to pay him very soon, maybe as soon as next offseason. And here's where it gets tricky. CeeDee Lamb is already due for a massive extension. Micah Parsons is too. Can the Cowboys afford to pay both of them and bring in Pickens? That's a big-time question for the front office. Here's the wild card, the 2025 NFL Draft. Todd Archer from ESPN predicted that the Cowboys might take Arizona's Tetairoa McMillan, who prefers to go by T-Mac, sided with the 12th overall pick. T-Mac is a smooth route runner, great hands, and would be a fantastic WR2 to pair with Lamb. Another name mentioned? Matthew Golden from Texas. So now the question becomes, do the Cowboys trade for George Pickens, or do they use their first rounds? Pick on a top rookie receiver, because, let's be honest, this team needs help at receiver. With Tony Pollard gone and no elite back currently on the roster, there's pressure to add more playmakers. A top WR prospect or a proven guy like Pickens would give Dak Prescott another weapon and lighten the load on CeeDee. If Dallas lands T-Mac in the draft, that might be the end of the George Pickens conversation, but if they go in a different direction, say offensive line or edge rusher, that Pickens trade rumor could come back to life in a heartbeat. Now let's talk about what it would actually cost to bring Pickens to Dallas. Steelers GM Omar Khan has been non-committal about Pickens' future. When asked, he said, "We're glad we have George and DK here. I think they're going to be exciting for everyone to watch. But make no mistake, he knows the value of leverage." Pittsburgh just traded for DK Metcalf and gave him a 5-year, $150 million deal. That's WR1 money, and it could make Pickens expendable. Some reports suggest the Steelers wouldn't accept just a second-round pick for Pickens. They might want a first or a second plus a player. Would Dallas pull the trigger? You know, Jerry loves big moves. He loves star power. If he believes Pickens can elevate this offense, you better believe he'll be in those trades. Here's the long-term ripple effect we got to think about. Back in 2020, the Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb while they still had Amari Cooper on the roster. It didn't take long before Cooper was moved and Lamb stepped into that WR1 role. Could history repeat itself? If Dallas drafts someone like McMillan or trades for Pickens, what does that mean for the long-term vision of this offense? Are we gearing up for a two-headed monster at receiver, or is this a bridge to eventually move on from another vet? Either way, it signals one thing loud and clear. Dallas is looking to add another playmaker, and they're looking hard. Yeah, you heard that right. According to a recent interview with Complex, our WR1, CeeDee Lamb, revealed that he spends over $50,000 every 2 weeks on recovery. That adds up to $1.3 million a year. Let's pause right there for a second. $1.3 million. Not on houses, not on jewelry, not on cars, but on his body, on staying healthy, on being at his absolute best. For every game, every snap, every route, you want to talk about commitment? That's elite mindset right there. Here's what Lamb said in the interview. "I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of money. My body is expensive. The minimum every 2 weeks is $50,000. There's 52 weeks in a year, 26 times 50, that's your number. And yeah, we did the math for you. 26x $50,000. $1.3 million, what exactly is he spending that money on? So what does that kind of recovery regimen even look like?" Lamb listed several tools and treatments he uses regularly. Ice baths, hot tub saunas, steam, rooms red light therapy, hyperbaric chambers. This man is literally turning his body into a scientific laboratory of performance. He's not just relying on youth or raw talent. He's investing in longevity, strength, speed, and mental sharpness. And let's be honest, in a sport as brutal and unforgiving as football, staying healthy is half the battle. For a receiver, it might be even more. One bad hamstring, one awkward. Landing, one hit out of bounds. That's all it takes to derail a season. But Lamb, he's doing everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen. Not everyone agrees. Of course, it wouldn't be the internet if someone didn't try to clown him for it. Former NFL receiver Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco, jumped on X and basically told Lamb to save the money and just buy a gym membership and eat at McDonald's. Instead, yep, you heard that right. Now, Chad has always marched to the beat of his own drum, and his old-school approach worked for him. But let's be honest, that kind of mindset doesn't fly in today's NFL. The game is faster. The demands are higher. The margin for error is razor thin. So if Lamb wants to drop 7 figures every year to gain that edge, and it's working, who's really going to argue? What has that investment gotten him? Let's look at the results because they speak for themselves. Since entering the league, CeeDee Lamb has been nothing short of elite, averages 16 games played per season. He's durable. 4 consecutive 1,100-plus yard seasons, 4 Pro Bowl selections, first team All-Pro in 2023 OH, and let's not forget the $136 million contract extension he signed in August 2024, making him the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That deal also included a $38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver. Ever. So yeah, he's making good money. And based on what we've seen, he's earning every dollar. Other athletes doing the same. CeeDee isn't the only one who understands the value of recovery. You've probably heard that LeBron James reportedly spends more than $1 million a year on his body. Russell Wilson claims he does the same. Derrick Henry, around $240,000 annually. So this isn't some wild new idea. The best athletes in the world know their bodies are their careers, their tools, their temples. And CeeDee Lamb has clearly joined that elite group who are not just playing the game, they're preparing to dominate it. Why this matters for the Cowboys. Now let's bring this back to Dallas, because this isn't just a story about one player. This is about culture. This is about leadership. This is about setting the tone. When your best player on offense is willing to invest $1.3 million of his own money just to stay ready, it sends a message to the rest of the locker room. This is what greatness looks like. This is what it takes. You don't think younger guys are watching that? You don't think this affects how the entire offense prepares? It absolutely does. And as we head into a critical 2025 season, where expectations are through the roof, having a guy like CeeDee Lamb leading by example is exactly what this team needs. So here's what we know. Cowboys Nation. Jerry says he wants 2 big trades. George Pickins is available, at least for the right price. Dallas is targeting wide receivers heavily in the draft. The team needs to support CeeDee Lamb with more firepower. The time to make a bold move is now. Could George Pickins be one of those trades Jerry teased? Could he be suiting up in the silver and blue next to CeeDee? Or will the Cowboys find their WR2 in the draft and keep their picks intact? That's what we're all watching for. Now it's your turn, Cowboys fans. Would you trade for George Pickins? Is his talent worth the potential risk and the price tag that will come with it next year? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I want to hear what you think. Would you go all in on a young stud like Pickens or play it safer with a rookie like T-Mac? And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more exclusive Cowboys content every single week, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. We've got draft coverage, insider reports, and all the behind-the-scenes action coming your way. Thanks for watching Cowboys Nation. Let's keep pushing for greatness. And as always, let's go Cowboys!